I barely get any sleep that night. Yeah, I kind of don't blame you. Every time I close my eyes, I'm afraid I'm missing something. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything to Zen. I could have kept my mouth shut. Would that have changed anything? I don't even know if I would stop the aliens if I could. Oh, okay. Does it get really hot or something at night? Where are your PJs? Here, it's okay. I have a spare robe. Here you go. Suddenly my phone buzzes and I jump out of my skin. It's not normal when you're so apprehensive that your own phone makes you jittery. Who is it? My parents. They're probably worried. We quickly get dressed and I answer the call while moving to the living room. Kia, is it you? It's Pushpa. Of course it's me. Who else would answer my phone? The tooth. So sassy. Wow, okay. Never mind all that. I'm so glad you haven't been abducted by aliens. I heard they're really into abducting rich people like you. Oh my god, did Pushpa just call and mock her? My mom has the bad habit of screaming into the phone like a banshee. I put it down on the couch and put the call on loudspeaker. I glance over at Sarah, who is trying to stifle a giggle at the scene. I'm fine, Mom. They only remove the richest people on Earth, and I'm definitely not one of them, so don't worry. Despite what you think, living in London doesn't automatically make me a millionaire. I hear another voice on the line. My dad chimes in. He doesn't get a name, he just is Akia's father? Okay, alright. That's fine, I guess. Nonsense. You must be rich to live in such an expensive town, like Reginald Trumpet rich. I don't think so. I think, well, my father isn't entirely wrong about that first part. It's a wonder I'm able to afford this tiny old apartment with Sarah. Oh, so they do pay for it together. I thought that she was just like crashing with Sarah. Hi, Dad. Before he can reply, Mom cuts in and takes over the conversation again with an entirely new subject. Oh, alright. I guess they weren't that concerned. How is your girlfriend, Sarah? Is she well? Oh, thanks for asking. I turn red from embarrassment as I look at Sarah. It doesn't have to imply romantic. Maybe she just thinks you're friends. She winks at me while doing a little jig. She is clearly enjoying my discomfort. Mom, she's not my girlfriend. We're just best friends who happen to share a tiny bed and have lived together for 2 years and can finish each other's sentences. Are you sure? I thought you told me otherwise. Don't mind her, Pushpa. She's just being shy. I bet she hasn't even told you we've got engaged yet. He gave me this gorgeous ring with huge diamond and everything. I wish you could see it. Well, just freaking... It's gonna be so annoying given to Pushpa, but you can't scold your friend, girlfriend, whoever. You can't scold people in front of other people. Is this true? Well, you know how it is, Mom. Sarah's been trying to pluck this Indian flower for a while now. I guess I just decided to finally give in. Oh, why do you have to describe it like that? Oh. It was about time, too. You have no idea how long I've been trying to get at Iki's flower. I can't wait to see it in full bloom. You're talking to her parents. Sarah, come on. Mom's on the phone. You started it. What? I do not recall that order of events. Kia, are you sure you're not up to anything that would bring shame to our family? Mom, of course not. Oh, don't worry, Pushpa. We're just making a few videos to pay the rent. You know how it is. Oh my god, Sarah. Oh my god. I would be horrified. Kia? Sarah, that's not helping. Oops, sorry. I got carried away. But, Akia, you should know that your flower is quite popular on the internet. Sarah, you are the worst. I don't think I want to increase her relationship stats anymore. That is so embarrassing. I regret everything. As I try to maintain my composure, Sarah suddenly moves in closer and starts tickling me. I try to resist and push her away, but she persists until we both tumble off the couch in a fit of laughter. Aren't you still on the phone with your mom? As we land on the floor, I find myself on top of Sarah, our faces only centimeters apart. For a fleeting moment, I think she's about to kiss me, but then she playfully shoves me to the side and rolls away. I pick up the phone, still laughing. Yeah, see, she was still on the phone. You guys are so embarrassing. Pick up the phone, still laughing and out of breath. It takes me a moment to pull myself together. Then comes the long and involved task of explaining away the sounds of that tickle fight. I'm not sure. I've completely cleared myself of suspicion by the end, but my parents are mostly concerned about my safety. They seem to be letting the other stuff slide for the moment. The wedding is next week, by the way. You're both invited, and don't worry about the dress code. It's casual formal, so just wear your fanciest sweatpants. Honestly, that sounds amazing. Can I just wear sweatpants to a wedding? That'd be incredible. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. When did you two decide to get married? Kia, did you organize a marriage without telling us first? Oh my god, they're taking you seriously. You need to stop. I'm not sure if I'm blushing because of Sarah's funny advances or just turning red with anger at this whole misunderstanding she's created. Either way, it's time to end this. We're not getting married. Sarah is just joking. Yet! Where'd she go? I playfully kick Sarah, making her fall on the floor like a sack of potatoes. I check her, thinking that she could be hurt, but she's just laughing. She deserved it. So you're not getting married? No, Dad, don't worry. That's too bad. I was looking forward to it. Oh well, I'm sure we won't have to wait too much longer. I roll my eyes. Stay safe, my precious child. And don't talk to the aliens. They're evil, I'm sure of it. I mean, didn't really have it on my agenda for the day, but you know. Oh yeah, you're right. It is a little too late for that. Because that did kind of already occur. That's right. I forgot about that. As I end the call, my gaze falls upon Sarah, who is still lying on the ground. She looks up at me with her sparkling eyes and playfully forms a heart with her fingers. Do you want me to finish you? Just try. Okay, I mean, you freaking asked for it. I join her on the ground and we engage in a playful scuffle, as we often do for fun. But after a while, we both collapse in exhaustion and decide to take a rest and cuddle on the couch. As my mind slowly comes back to reality, I can feel the weight of the current situation bearing down on me. It's as if, for a moment, I was able to escape it all. Now, I've been brought right back to it. I'm going for a walk in the park. Right now? Well, yeah. What else? I guess what else? Yeah, why not? The situation hasn't changed at all for a while now. It feels like the reporters are stuck in a time loop. I need to distract myself. I understand. Taking a break sounds like a good idea. Do you want me to come? Nah, I want to think. So basically, I wouldn't be much company. I'll be back shortly. I start my walk. A cool breeze hits me and I feel refreshed. I usually go walking around my flat when I need to think, but luckily, one of the many London public parks is close enough for me to use when I need to switch things up. I like to immerse myself in nature. As I walk, I take in my surroundings. The sun is shining bright in the sky, casting a warm glow over the park. I get the result I wanted, forget about this whole mess. I listen to the birds chirping, I smell some flowers, and it's all beautiful, especially now that everyone seems glued to the TV, waiting for the next alien move. I notice that there are very few people in the park, and that feels unnatural. It's beautiful because it's very peaceful, but it's also frightening. Is this how Earth would be if suddenly most of its population vanished? I try to shake off the thought as I continue my walk, hoping to find more signs of life. Oh, well, you found one. But instead, I see Zen appear in front of me. For a moment, I think I'm hallucinating. Zen, the alien, here in a park. I raise my hand, and I can't help but notice that it's shaking. Hello? Why are you here? I told you that I hoped to see you again. I saw you were walking alone. Oh, you're keeping an eye on her? Oh, no. Yep. Nature, yeah, it's a true statement. We already know that she can teleport. So, of course, nature is beautiful. I've always loved it, and it's nice to take a break every once in a while to surround yourself with it. Right at that moment, a butterfly flies nearby and then lands on Zen's shoulder. I gasp in surprise and point at it. At first, Zen seems like their usual, ice-cold self, but then I notice their head turning towards the butterfly. My smile broadens as I admire the delicate creature resting on Zen's gentle hand. It seems to feel comfortable with them, as if they belonged to nature too. I mean, technically Zen is part of nature, right? Just like a different planet's version of nature, yeah? Isn't she beautiful? Zen doesn't answer, but they keep their gaze fixed on the butterfly until it finally flies away. Oh, okay. Some people need to drive at high speed or do other dangerous things to feel alive, but I'm content just being able to contemplate nature. Simple things like observing a butterfly up close are enough to make my day. Zen remains silent, but I can tell that even they were moved by the butterfly's beauty. Do they have butterflies where they come from? I'm gonna guess not. Before I can ask, Zen interrupts my thoughts. Yet you choose to live in a city like this, full of pollution, traffic, and buildings. Okay, well, yeah, now you just kind of made me feel a little stupid. I was forced to. At my previous job, I was a personal shopper for CEOs. It's complicated, but long story short, I needed to be here to work. Most people are forced to live in places they don't like for their jobs. I'm sure many people would prefer to live in a green area with less noise and pollution, but they simply can't. They can't live the life they want because they need to earn money. Yes, but I wanted to talk about the progress that's been made on my mission to fix the Earth. Oh, about that. You're not actually planning on following through with it, are you? I don't understand what you mean. You mentioned that there would be 2 individuals involved tonight instead of just one. Your intention is to frighten people, correct? No, my goal is to inspire change. If fear is the only means to achieve it, then so be it. Oh, you're not just doing the fear, though. You're also doing the kill. But I hope to see you again, Akia. I don't know that I do. And with that, they're gone. Probably having teleported back to their spaceship. They might still be looking at me from above, though. I don't feel relaxed anymore, so I decide to head back home. Oh man, is she gonna have some news for Sarah? I remind myself not to breathe a word of this to Sarah. Oh, well, I guess, never mind. If she found out, she'd think I'm crazy. Talking about aliens following me around the park. Besides, she can't keep a secret. If she blabbed about my meeting with Zen, others could start thinking I'm helping them. They might even start suspecting me of being an alien in disguise. It's better to stay silent. As I walk into the flat, I see Sarah sleeping on the couch. I sit beside her, gently kissing her forehead. She wakes up. They killed him already? I shake my head and stroke her cheek as I cuddle next to her. Sleeping is a good idea, and I could use some help with that right now. I turn on the TV, and I see that everyone is still talking about the aliens. It seems like they are just as overwhelmed as we are. We both lay there on the couch, tired and drained. Eventually, we succumb to sleep. But the TV stays on, and the news continues interviewing every relevant person they can find. When I get up, I pour food for Murtio. He ignores it, instead following me with my cereal back to the couch. He brings me a balled-up receipt, asking me to play, but I just toss it and refocus on the TV. Sorry, Mateo, it's no time to be playing around. Oh, why does he look so young and so old at the same time? It's the mustache, isn't it? We are wasting time here. I don't know why the politicians don't see that. We should attack the ship and destroy it before they can kill anyone else. It's obvious they're hostile. Why should we treat them any differently than terrorists? I'm not sure that y'all would be much of a threat to the aliens, unfortunately. I don't mean that in like a rude way. I mean that in like a they're aliens kind of way. Do you think our technology can compete? There's plenty we haven't shared with the public. I think it's about time we use it. I swallow at that threat. Who's to say the aliens wouldn't turn our weapons back on us, or do worse in retaliation? I disagree entirely. Big shock there. Well, how sassy. Because we don't know what their technology is capable of, attacking them could be disastrous. We all know, no matter what our role in society, that upsetting a person with more technology without at least getting a good grasp of what we're up against is a losing plan. The military man scoffs, but then the news cuts to a crowd of people on the street. A shaggy-looking person with dreads holds up a sign that says, "Defund the rich." I didn't really consider the possible protests. Oh no. I see that you all have decided to rally. Want to tell us what this is all about? These aliens are saying what those in poverty have been saying for years. With every election, the poor get poorer while the rich find new ways to cut their taxes and hold on to money they never spend. Please. Okay, that's not much of a reaction. While people starve in the streets, they're told it's their fault, that if they just get themselves a job, they'll be fine. That hasn't been true in a long time. Those that make minimum wage have to shack up with at least 4 people to afford a 1-bedroom flat. If we keep this up, everyone in the middle class and below is going to end up being exploited to the point where they might as well be slaves. And our rich overlords will still try to tell us it's our fault. I shake my head and flip the channel, but it's more of the same. Some of the more hostile people say that we shouldn't wait for the aliens to fix our problems, that we should kill the capitalist pigs and redistribute their funds. Uh-oh. I had a feeling things were going to get worse. Others urge people to share their wealth, to take this as a sign that their charity donations aren't doing enough. Some businesses are planning to give huge increase in wages all the way down, and today they're proving their goodwill by giving overdue bonuses to employees. That is nice. Wait a minute, is that the Pope? Oh, yep, it's the Pope. Then every station flips to the Pope. It's Sunday, so I expect a sermon, but he simply folds his hands. We know that our Lord and Savior has found ways to test his followers since the dawn of time. His Son, Jesus Christ, showed us that money is not the way to happiness. Trusting in the church, in community, in farming, and in making things for ourselves is all we need. I urge the devout to remember this and turn over all funds to start society anew. This is merely the newest form of Noah and the flood. Sarah sits next to me. Everyone has an opinion. Did you expect any different? I don't know what to think, and we don't even have a tenth of what these billionaires and CEOs have. I know I don't agree with Mr. Pope. Pope is the title he has, not his name. Sarah waves my command away and tosses one of Murtillo's toys. He attacks it, kills it with his hind legs, then trots back over with it between his teeth. There's pride on his face as he drops it for Sarah. I'm just saying that I think the Pope sees it through the lens of the Bible. What worked those thousands of years ago just won't work now. I mean, you can't get land and materials for a house or farming without money. Yeah. Maybe Murtillo here needs to teach us how to live. She throws the toy again. Eating when someone takes pity on us and feeds us, sleeping all day, and enjoying ourselves with whatever toy comes along. He does live a charmed life. Sarah nods and we play fetch until Murtillo decides he just wants to rip up the paper. I sigh and rub my forehead. A migraine is already setting in. But, out of curiosity, if you were one of those rich, swanky men, what would you do? Great question. Well, first off, I would probably cry. You know what? Fuck it. Whatever. Just give away everything. I don't know. Sure. I wouldn't want to risk it. How are you English and not a biscuit person? Sarah looks at me strangely. I pet Murtillo and he chirps. I'd give away almost everything and only keep what I'd need for a decent life. We could get a 2-bedroom house paid almost all the way off. Maybe get a used car, keep enough in savings just in case Murtillo needs a vet or one of us gets laid off, and that's all. At least save enough so you just don't have to work anymore. Why put yourself through that, you know? Really? You wouldn't keep like a year's worth of salary? You wouldn't keep a few million just in case? That doesn't sound right. Yeah, you know what? For once, I agree with Sarah. It's just, why not? Those people have so much money that even us having a whole house or a luxurious apartment in London Center would be nothing compared to what they have. I know, but if I keep just enough for 6 months of bills, or even a year's worth, if I'm going to be greedy, after everything I listed, we would still have an amazing life. I don't think keeping a year's worth is greedy. Sarah considers it. Oh, the geese are migrating. Oh, they're so noisy outside. Holy cow. So you don't need the fashion, the expensive dinners we can only dream of, the live at home and never work lifestyle? I'd go crazy without work. She laughs and nods. We both know it's true. I'd give a lot to my parents and to the shelters around here, and some other places where people really need the money. It's not like we'd be beggars, and the money can do more good for others. The news agrees with us. Politicians, economists, international relations officers, and so on are all urging the wealthiest 1% to donate funds to legitimate charities, to spread the funds out over shelters that need assistance, to give to creators, friends, and low-income communities. And while many celebrities are doing just that, there are some business owners, some trust fund babies, and even some designers that are hesitant. The CEO of a video game company, Gabe Honeywell, speaks up. Hi, Gabe. How do we actually know what information the aliens have access to? Gregor Tusk was an idiot who admitted he was the wealthiest person, and so he was dealt with. Oh, are you next? Are you the next wealthiest? Is that what's happening? For them to be able to come up with a cohesive list that covers everyone in the world is something even a hacker couldn't do. Even one that belongs to an organization like the FBI. It wouldn't really pit humans up against this other intelligent species from a different planet that you know nothing about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a fair comparison. I think we're gonna lose every time. So you aren't worried? Sure, I'm CEO of my company, but it doesn't mean the profits are mine. I have employees to pay, artists to pay, and of course, my partners and shareholders all get a cut. Then there's distributors, the scriptwriters. Uh-oh. It sounds like he's really trying to really give a good logical explanation, a nice long logical breakdown on how his funds aren't in his pocket directly. I don't know, man. I'd be wary if I were you. Looking at the big picture, a lot of that money doesn't go to me. I'm sure there are plenty of people in the world who are wealthier. Others seem to be thinking along the same lines. Some celebrities are willing to take the risk, sure that people like professional athletes make more than them. It's a constant sliding scale of people who aren't sure where they stand and aren't willing to give up what they feel they've earned. It kind of reminds me of that American show, Survivor. I stare at her. What? I mean, people keep guessing who is going to be voted off. There are presidents, dictators, celebrities, CEOs. I know it's morbid, but I'm kind of excited to find out what's going to happen. Come on. I mean, she's not really wrong. I mean, it absolutely is morbid, but I mean, she's got kind of a point. It's not a very far off comparison. They're all risking their lives. It's crazy if you think about it. How can be sure they're not the richest? As Gabe said, no one can really know. It's like a game of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, with a deadly twist. I thought you said Survivor. Well, okay, there are a couple. A lot of game shows, very similar. They share themes, okay? It's a mix of the two. Who will be the wealthy one to bite the dust tonight? Tune in to find out. Sarah imitates the voice of a game show host, and I know she's trying to lighten the mood, but it's a bit much, especially when people's lives are actually on the line. If it's gonna happen, we're gonna have to find a way to cope, right? Before I can finish, Zen's voice comes in over the TV. Then the video cuts to Zen on the spaceship I remember too well. Sarah flicks through the channels curiously. Even the Spanish channels are showing the same feed. Interestingly, though, Zen's words come through in the appropriate language. We settle on an English channel to make it easier for us to understand. In 2 hours, the 2 richest people on Earth will die. You still have a short time to fix this. We advise that you show initiative to spare yourself and better the lives of those around you. Zen is giving them ample time, I must say. Just like that, it's back to normal TV. Well, the new normal. Yeah, fair. People keep guessing, and Sarah joins in, trying to figure out who it could be. The news spends time interviewing rich people and celebrities. It seems like there's a 60-40 split on whether people should disperse their funds or take a chance that someone's richer. And of course, because the news wouldn't be complete without a poll, we're asked to text in who we think will be one of the two. Is this entire situation being broadcasted on American Idol? I'm sorry, what? I snort. This isn't some game. It kind of is. A morbid one, but still a game. At least we don't have to worry about it being us. Just as the station is about to reveal the graph, Zen comes back on TV. They simply stand in front of the camera. Are their eyes doing that weird twitchy stuff again? The time has come. Many of you have questions, I'm sure, about how we are able to determine who is selected. Yes, and your answer? There's a long pause, but Sarah just watches, her food half in her mouth. To clarify, we have access to every stored bit of knowledge contained in your computers and your technology on top of what is shared via phone. Okay, hang on a second, wait a minute. They have full control of everything on Earth. You know what I mean? They have access to everything and anything. So theoretically, them killing people is kind of a choice because they... We use all of what your governments and industries have put in place. There is no level of encryption that we cannot break. Sarah drops her food. Oh, Martio is going to be one happy kitty. I'm so tempted to smash my phone right now. Sarah's face turns as red as a fire truck. If they have access to all our info, then they can see those pics that I took? I don't think that is of Zen's concern at the moment, you know what I mean? You're going to have to clarify what you mean by those pics. You have a pretty generous collection of pictures of yourself that I'd consider compromising. Well, probably all of them then. Sarah's face somehow turns even redder. I mean, yeah, but most of those are at least classy. The ones I'm talking about? You have to know which ones I'm talking about. And I swear I'll never put a carrot there again. Moving on. I can't hold back the fit of laughter that bubbles to the surface. Somehow, Sarah being so embarrassed over some pictures she took while she was drunk seems silly in the face of everything else that's going on. Does she really think the aliens are going to care? If she ever actually met Zen, she'd probably realize that they aren't exactly fun enough to fixate on that sort of thing. At least, that's the impression I got. I guess I don't know that for sure, though. My wondering is cut short when Zen's voice brings me back to the situation at hand. We have determined the next 2 names. Ooh. There's a long pause. We could hear a pin drop down the road if we listened hard enough. I gulp and take Sarah's hand tightly. I don't feel ready to hear this. I don't want a repeat of what Gregor went through, even if he was argumentative and hostile. Zen waves their hand slowly. One person teleports into the ship, wearing a nearly see-through robe and a sexy nightgown. She gasps and looks around, foam still on her face from brushing her teeth. Definitely one of the things where I would least expect something bad to happen to be. Then a dark-skinned man shows up next to her. He's wearing boxers and has lipstick marks on his chest. Huh. Well, that's weird. How is his neck so flexible that he could do that? He's slightly hard, but as he realizes where he is, that problem goes down immediately. That would have been really funny if it just didn't, and it just never did. That would have been really funny, actually. Sarah chokes on her spit. They can teleport anyone into their ship whenever they want, anywhere? The threat of chaos is softened when Zen announces who they are. This is Johann Conrad, ex-military, now president, after some convincing. Despite your many crimes, you have accumulated more wealth than most, even if it is in items and in places rather than your bank. Isn't that the guy who starves his citizens if they refuse to work? If I'm remembering right, he killed an entire population of people because he said they were dragging the rest of them down. Okay, yeah, I'm all on board. Get rid of him. Sarah can't answer before he becomes a fine mist. There's nothing left of him after Zen snaps their fingers. They're gone, entirely. If any molecules remain, it's not enough to make a person. I can hear people in other apartments cheer. Some of the noise even comes from the surrounding buildings. It's that loud. I guess it makes sense. He was hated for good reason. Sarah shows me a few live streams on her phone where YouTubers and influencers are happily agreeing with and supporting the choice to eliminate him. So many people wanted him dead. But I know we're not done, and so does Sarah when her attention goes back to the TV screen. She gasps suddenly. I know her! And this is Vera Gonzalez. Hi, ma'am. You have come to meet your maker. The woman tries to scurry away as her mascara drags down her face. She sobs. My chest aches for her. She's just an owner of a fashion chain. Clothing, perfumes, lotions, hair products. She even makes art that empowers women. Well, this is a little poopy. She sniffs and reaches for Zen. Please, I'm not a bad person. People love my products and I want to empower women. I have sales, I donate to charities, I cultivate ideas from everyone and pay them for their contributions. Zen only watches her as she begs. I worked so hard to get where I am. Please, don't punish me for giving back. Please don't punish me for suddenly being at the top. Zen isn't moved. They don't even blink. Their voice stays monotone. It was because you made such donations and were still in the top 2 that we allotted more time. You did nothing with that extra kindness. That tells me that you were trying to give the bare minimum to avoid being in the top 2. What you said. You did not take this seriously and fail to understand the reason why. Therefore, the consequences will be carried out. With that, she becomes mist as well. Thick and obvious like ashes at first. But then she sweeps away, spreading through the air. Sarah squeezes my hand and I see the WTF look on her face. She liked Vera Gonzalez. She even owns some of the collectibles that Vera always made cheap so everyone could purchase them. I wrap my arms around her and rub her shoulders. Zen turns to the camera, their expression cold and calculated. They begin to speak, their words directed towards the public. We recently did some calculations. A pre-recorded movie starts playing on screen as they speak. The footage shows a rural village in Africa, with families and starving children. With the amount of money that Vera earned in one day, over 1,500 families like this could have received food and water for 1 full month. Does this sound just to you? To us, it does not. Zen continues, their tone devoid of emotion. As long as there is this much disparity in your world, there cannot be true equality and happiness. Thus, drastic measures must be taken. Vera was not the worst person on this planet. What happened here does not erase the good that she did with her power. But it also doesn't change the fact that she was part of the problem. She was well aware of how much she was earning. She could have done so much more, and yet, even with her life on the line, she did nothing. A tiny bit of charity won't save you. We do not make our choices based on the character of the individuals we take. We select names based on the amount of wealth they have, as we have stated clearly from the start. What we are doing here is not a joke. I hope today has proven that to you. But just in case it hasn't, in case you still don't understand how serious we are, tomorrow we will eliminate the 3 richest people in the world. I guess why not just keep going, right? Sarah whimpers and I squeeze her tightly. Also, we have discovered evidence that the military has been planning a strike against us. As of now, all nuclear devices are offline. Any other measures taken to harm our ship should be abandoned. Should you attack, you will not be spared. This is going to get so much worse because they are absolutely about to be attacked, aren't they? The TV actually goes black. I flick through channels, but there's nothing there for a solid 5 minutes. When our local news comes back on, the news anchor looks horrified despite the retail smile. You know what? Bless her heart for holding it together, because holy crap. We're so fucked. I can't argue. Zen has made that much clear. We are completely at their mercy. Our world is over. Now we have to be obedient, or we'll be destroyed.
Oh no. They sound like they're in quite the stressful situation, huh? Are they gonna die? Who knows? Find out next week.